Hey, oh, John, let's come on here. I'm going to talk to her again.
No, there.
It's down on the front steps, but don't shut the door behind you. It'll lock you out. If you get shut, hit that little button. You can have, I'll tell you what. You have a smoke right out here in the veranda.
Okay. One thing I need to ask you is, we'd like to dig some more, okay? And that might entail digging up that concrete where those flowers are.
That's okay.
Okay. Do you have any problem with us digging, or?
No.
None whatsoever? Okay. Because you don't have to let us.
Look, I want to get this over with.
Okay. What else? How do you get a hold of your nephew? How can we get a hold of him also?
Ricardo Ordorica. He works at the Clarion.
Clarion Hotel?
But he's not there right now.
How about a home phone or anything?
428. Just a minute. (428-1471).
1471. Okay. His name is Ricardo. Okay. I'll talk with John and enlighten us into a couple other areas. Okay, but basically that's what we want to do. And if there is, like I said, if there is a point where everything has to be replaced and everything, I think the city will bear that burden of taking care of that. But I'd like to get a hold of Ricardo and advise him also what we'd like to do to the property and see if that's okay with him.
It's okay because he let me put it up. I paid for all of that.
Okay, all that concrete and shed and... Okay.
Because I didn't have enough storage space, you know. And I just can't do the yard work anymore.
Okay. All right. Now, your niece, Brenda, she was living with you this year?
No, a year ago September.
Okay. Was Jose living there with her also?
No.
Oh, she just still was hanging around him?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. How well do you know Jose?
Not very well.
Okay, because I know, when you mention Jose, and I think, I know who Jose was. I arrested him.
No.
Remember when he and Brenda were in the little, remember we picked them up, Brenda and Jose, down at his place? We brought him in. Did she ever tell you about that?
I haven't talked to her since then.
Since a year and a half ago?
Mm-hmm.
Has it been a year and a half?
A year ago September.
A year, so it's been a year and a month approximately. Almost 2 months. Okay. Okie dokie.
Will you,
At any point,
are you going to let me go, or do I have to stay here?
no,
or what?
more than likely, we'll let you take on back. We'll furnish you some ride. Now,
I'll take a cab. I mean, it's bad enough. That,
we can even give you a free cab back. It doesn't matter to us.
can John and I go back together?
Possibly, yeah. Yeah, we might have to talk with him a little bit more. One of the things I wanted to ask you is, have you ever talked to John about people, maybe like Brenda, accusing you of maybe putting people in the backyard or anything? Did that ever surface?
Yes.
When was that?
She told me that if I didn't let her stay there, that she was going to say that.
When was that?
A couple of years ago.
Okay. She said if that she was that what? She was going to say that that you were burying people in the backyard if you didn't let her stay there. So she was kind of extorting you.
Yes, she was.
And what'd you tell her? Go to hell?
Yes. In fact, I turned her in.
On what?
When she came home, I let her come from prison and stay there for a few days. And she was using drugs. I don't believe in drugs.
Okay.
I don't smoke. Well, this year I was nervous and I was out there picking myself. I take my heart medication, my thyroid, my hormone, that kind of medication. John and anybody that stayed there can tell you that I don't allow drugs.
Okay.
In fact, I don't even allow smoking.
So she did threaten you some time back that, hey, I'm going to tell the police,
life.
threaten your life, and then tell you better let me stay here. I want to tell the police you're burying people in your backyard? Okay. And you thought hogwash. And then you said no, she wasn't staying there. Okay. Did you ever tell John that?
John knows that she said that to me.
Was he ever present?
In fact, he picked her up off the floor a couple of times, off the bed. Not off the bed, but she kept falling out of bed. And we finally, I asked John to help me because I can't lift anything heavy. And I put a blanket down, and he helped me lay her down on the floor.
Okay.
And then I called. She left my house. She got out on a Saturday, and she was supposed to report Monday. She left Sunday morning to go see whoever, and she didn't come back until Wednesday night, and that's when we were up all night with her.
Do you remember when she was a suspect in that murder over there? And remember that?
No, because
her and Jose were supposedly involved with the killing of somebody.
Oh yeah.
And we arrested them.
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
Yes.
Was it you that called the police and gave anonymous information?
Yes.
Okay. All right. And it turned out that they weren't involved, actually. Because I dealt with that case. See, and that's when I started receiving information.
Okay, but...
That was this year.
No, I didn't... it wasn't this year that I called. It was a year ago.
Okay, it might have been somebody else, because somebody called on them. And, of course, she said it was Dorothea.
Dorothea? On what murder?
No. She said, no. This was something where when we picked them up for it, she says, hey, I know who called in and blamed this on us. Dorothea did.
Oh.
See? So,
Oh.
But anyway, I wanted to...
But her parole officer did tell her that I called when they picked her up at my house, which I thought was kind of lousy because I gave him my word. Like I told you, I'm trying to get off parole. I'm trying to do what's right. And when I called him, they promised me they wouldn't tell her that I called because I said, as soon as he says, when she shows up, will you call? And I said, yes. And I did. And when they came, they walked in and arrested her.
Okay.
2 times they arrested her at my house.
At your house. And that was a year and a half ago?
They arrested her on September about the 4th or 3rd, and then they arrested her once before she got out, and she was just out a short time. She started using and burnt my rug and all kinds of stuff.
Was Jose at your house a lot?
No, he just came and did some work. I only met him through her I let her have him call her. I let him call her collect there one time when he was someplace. And then, I didn't know he was in prison at that time. And he came and did some work for me.
Okay.
Now, they could have killed somebody, you know. Although, they were never at the house at the same time together. But Brenda's a real bad heroin addict. In fact, I think they're looking for her now. Because somebody came to the house the other day looking for her. But I wasn't home. Do you speak Spanish?
Some.
All right, because my nephew, he speaks English, but he...
Rather speak Spanish.
Yeah.
Well, let me go give him a call. You hang tight. Dorothea.
Hey, can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's Jose?
Yeah. Was the murderer by the name of Ed Williams?
What do you mean the murderer?
You said that they were involved in a murder. Was that Ed Williams?
No. Why, do you know of anything they've been involved in?
Yeah, Jose was working and staying with Ed Williams at 25th and J. He was taking care of him.
Oh, yeah, the old man, Ed Williams. No, Ed Williams was there.
Oh.
He was just, what happened is Ed finally went to the hospital.
Oh, okay.
I think we're going to get ready to send you back. You want to ride back with him? I'll get him. Just sit here and I'll get him.
Okay.
But give us a few minutes, okay?
Howdy.
We can put you in we'll pay for a taxi cab if that's fine for both of you. And that way it'll save, you know, a trip. Well, I'll be right back. Let me get the book. You want to go back to 1426, right?
Yeah.
Okay, let me get a book. And I'll get you all signed up.
I don't know why they brought you down here.
Just a question, maybe, that's all. He says because I was longest living tenant. You know, all this time I thought I'd been there 3.5 years, but it's only been 2.5.
I kept trying to tell you that because he called me a liar.
Yeah.
This is very nice to me, though. John Schott told him that.
Yeah, and how can he say something like that?
I don't know. I told him, I said, it's because I asked him to move.
You know, it all starts all the way back to that, what was Vesuvio, or was that his name?
And Brenda, he told me, yeah, he told me about Brenda. I said, oh yeah, she threatened me, you know.
Yeah.
I was afraid, I did tell my P.O. at that time that I was afraid that she might try to kill me or something.
Yeah.
They're going to tear all the cement out and all the buildings down.
Yeah, I know, God almighty.
They're going to do it today?
I don't know.
They're going to call the car if they can, you know, give his permission.
Yeah.
That's okay, I don't care.
I told him that, you know, that you'd sign it over to him when you went to prison.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you told me. I said, I imagine what you guys kind of like a lease back arrangement for the rest of your life. Because, I mean, that's the way I understood it. I didn't know exactly.
I was shocked to see you come walking in.
Oh, didn't you tell me that you was going to want to talk to me later on?
Yeah, but I thought that they'd have you come down next week or something, you know.
No, he says he'll try and do it today.
Oh, to talk to you today?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So one of the homicide detectives was coming in, so...
Did you,
I locked the two
okay.
front doors, and I told, what's his name, Pat, to keep an eye on her. Thanks.
Yeah, because I was worried about the house being unlocked. And
No, I locked the front doors. I left the back door open for the kitty cats.
I was, I was worried at first that I wasn't going to go back because...
Well, these things have to be investigated. And you
I
just,
can't believe they found that goddamn body there. He said it was only 2 feet down.
Oh, it was more than that. Or at least it looked more like it to me.
And he says, well, if it proves it was there before 1978, he says, you're in trouble. I said, well, I don't know what to say.
Between 1978?
Yeah.
Why, is that when you bought the house?
That's when I moved in myself. You know, see, my bedroom's unlocked, and John Sharp's in that house.
Yeah. Well, I did tell Pat to keep an eye on things, you know.
I was afraid that the house would get cold without the doors being shut, you know.
No, I shut the 2 top doors, locked the 2 top doors. So it's just, the bottom one's open just a little bit for the kitty cats to, to get in to get their food. And when I left, Pat had gotten up and was sitting outside there. They just strung, that yellow police line thing around that area. And,
I was telling you was standing there when I left.
Then Channel 10 come by.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Probably on the news tonight, huh?
I don't know.
That jacket's dirty, John. You better let me wash it tomorrow.
I know. But it was the quickest thing I could grab,
Did they call and tell you, or look at your hand, how purple it is?
Well, that's just because I'm putting pressure on it. Back here. See, the cast extends all the way back here, and then when I put pressure on it, sometimes it puts a strain on it. Oh, it still don't feel good, I'll guarantee you. Teach me. Go out, get drunk, do stupid things.
Now, John Sharp told this guy here that I promised him something. I forget what the guy said because I was
Yeah, he
nervous,
mentioned something like that to me. I said, she's not going to promise him nothing. She's told me that she's getting them out of there.
I gave him
That
notice.
was supposed to move this coming Saturday or something like that. I didn't know your exact words. I mean, he's asked me things. How can I remember word for word? Something you might have told me 2 years ago.
I know. That's why I told him if I knew I was going to have to remember, I would have tried to remember. I told him, bug my telephone. Put a bug on my telephone.
It's hard to remember, Like, he asked me when all this talk started, and I says, I think it started, with that one that Ricardo had to evict. I couldn't think of his name, Vesuvian. I couldn't think of his name. It just came to me now.
And then he said that when he arrested Brenda and Jose for something.
Yeah, he said he said they were busted both together.
Yeah, and then he said that I told him that they were looking for him again, or for her. And then he says,
Is she out?
yeah, but they're looking for her because they were at the house the other day, and I was out shopping when they came looking for her.
Who they talked to?
Pat.
I told him, hell, I stay in my room most of the time. I don't know what those guys downstairs are doing.
That's why I told him.
He says, well, everybody's down there today. I said, yeah, because she had one of the guys. And I couldn't think of the name of that center that you had that worked in. Now, I could have sworn it's been over a year since that cement was poured.
Me too.
But I told him one way you could find out is you could call that center out there and find out when you had that.
It was a year because Jose, Bill did it a year ago this month.
Was it Jose?
No.
Well, I said, to the best of my recollection, it was 16, 18 months ago. But then I said, but then again, I thought I'd lived there for a longer period than I did.
Yeah, because see, I got out September the 9th of 85.
Yeah. And I could have sworn I'd lived there 3.5 years. And I've told everybody that.
Did they take, did Channel 10 take pictures?
He had his camera with him. Yeah. So, well, you know, the police like to cooperate with media because they can get some good tips from them a lot of times, you know, and stuff like that. So I don't think it was right that they allowed him to walk onto the property.
Oh, well,
But he was taking pictures of the outside of the house and everything.
I'll be on the news tonight then.
Well,
Yeah, I was worried
that's
about the
something.
cats being able to, you know, being locked in or being locked out.
No, they're not locked out. There's all the strange people there.
I didn't dare.
Floppy was on my bed.
I didn't dare talk to you when you came up there because I, you know.
There's nothing to talk about. You know.
No, I just feel bad that you're
Not
involved.
involved? No, don't worry about that, heck. It doesn't bother me. They asked me if I'd take a lie to take a test, and I said, sure, why
Well,
not?
they asked me that too. I said, yeah, my PO is present.
I got nothing to hide.
I have to go see him Monday. I don't know how I'm going to get way out on Madison Avenue.
Where, well, when do you have to see him?
Monday.
Did he specify a time?
No, he might come. I'm going to call and see if he can come to the house. Maybe you can. I don't know. I can't remember the address, but it takes a long time to get out there on the.
4337 Madison Avenue, I think he gave me his card.
Oh, my PO did?
Yeah. His name's James S. Wilson.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 5777 Madison Avenue.
How come he gave you his card?
I don't know.
This guy here asked me right off the bat, he says, can I ask you something personal? Or what the involvement between you and John? I said, nothing.
Oh, you mean whether we were intimate or something
Yeah.
like that?
And I think he asked me if you'd lie for me. I said, I don't think so.
Huh?
I think he asked me if you'd lie for me or something like that. I said, I don't think so.
Lie for you? Why should I lie for you?
That's what I told him.
I got nothing to lie about. I don't know anything to lie about.
And then I told him, I can't lift anything heavy. I can't believe this.
And he told me he's sure that they're going to find more bodies. He says, I don't know. I think he said, see, even when 5 minutes ago, it's hard to recall the exact words of some of these.
Yeah, me too. And my mouth kept getting so dry.
Yeah. Well, it's a very unpleasant situation to be in.
Did your mouth get dry?
No, he asked me if I wanted some water or some coffee, and I said no.
Yeah, I took 2 glasses of water. I felt like I had cotton candy in my mouth. It was so dry.
Well, you know, this is serious business. I mean, it's not like, you know, you were arrested for a traffic
I know,
ticket.
and here I'm just ready to get off parole, you know.
Yeah, and this is something like this happens.
I never will now.
He told, I think he said something about the VOA was pushing it or something, is what it was all about.
He says that Bert had gone there and asked to move from my place. I can't believe that. Because he's the one that didn't want Judy and them to bother him.
Yeah. He used to get mad every time they come up there.
I forgot to tell him that.
He didn't like those people at all. He did go out that VOA that one time, remember when we
2 times he went out there because...
2?
Yeah, because he wanted to tell the guy, I forget his name now, that everybody should find a home. Because he was happy when I got him his clothes and everything.
Well, you treated him like a baby. He was second mom.
Yeah, he forgot to call me that sometime. I don't know what takes so long.
They have things to do.
Well, he's calling Ricardo now.
What was he talking about, book?
Hmm?
What was he talking about, a book or something?
What book?
I don't know, when he left the room, didn't he say something about a book?
Oh, I guess they're going to pay a cab, but I just soon pay my own. I don't want... Then they said they could drive me back. I said, sure, I'd rather go back in a cab because I don't want to back up that the neighbors see
If
me.
it's an unmarked car, it doesn't make any difference. You know, could be anything. Because they brought me in here in an unmarked car.
Well, they did.
There was about 4 or 5 black and whites by the time I left there.
When you left, there was a whole bunch of black and
Yeah,
white?
there was about 4
What
or
the
5.
hell were they doing?
I don't know. They were just standing around as far as I could tell. Didn't seem to be doing anything.
In the yard, you mean?
No, most of them were standing outside the fence. There was some gal who was more or less guarding the gate, you know. And there was about 4 or 5 blues, you know, boys in blue. And all the rest of them had left, you know, all the homicide detectives in the corner, whoever it was, they'd already left, I guess.
Let's go. We're all going home.
John's coming up back here. Take care, huh? Oh, you got a little time to work on it, I think.
Photograph everybody. I'm sorry. Let's each get a photograph. You know how one of those I want to remember your hair? Why didn't I take a photograph from you? Just stand right there and I'll get a little...
If I'd known that, I would have
Put a tuxedo on?
shaved and wore a tie. Put in my bottom teeth.
Okay, that's all good for you. Dorothea?
Did you get in touch with Ricardo?
He's coming on down. Real nice of it. Okay. Oh, no film. Hold on a second. That was a blind portrait. This is just a...
Hey, okay. I mean, he
No,
doesn't
it's
want
not-
any help.
don't-
To me, he doesn't want any help. He wants to stay in F the rest of his career.
Don't whine to me when you say, oh, my ear hurts. The earphone hurts my ear.
I gotta go eat. I got the bowl.
I heard her, at one point I heard her telling that old guy in there.
You know, yeah, because I thought I was going to get out parole soon, but I guess I never will now.
She was sentenced to 5 years. This is back when she was a young fighting. But there's some other people around there, because they were talking in there about people downstairs. We don't know what they did or something like that. Yeah, there's several people downstairs. Hey, one of her residents, she's probably not. She's got partially aware of that body has got to be several years old. Her roots go on top. How long has she been? Wow. She got out in 85. She got out in 85. She was sentenced at 82. First case, 78. That could be from before. The landlord called me. Who? Called me broke. Huh? No. You don't know me. It's your own me. Yeah, because 8 years, it'd be all those. Yeah, the clock hadn't even deteriorated. No, the clock was still in there. The zipper was all intact.
Yeah, I'd say that's just looking at what I looked at, I'd say you're looking at about a year or 2 years.
Expert number one right there, Mr. Buddy.
Well, we had them all in order. We had them from noon to 2 years.
Mr. Body Digger, yeah.
Remember the ones on Broadway? If you look at those were 2 years old. Or a year old. And there was still meat on them.
Well, I'm glad they're bringing this murder down. This would be interesting to watch him work. Heckler? Is that Heckler? That's not. It'd be interesting to watch him work. Yeah. Because he got part of that class.
I'll tell you what, you better be planning for a long stay. Because if you get one of those guys in, they're very meticulous. Heckler is he'll be there forever. And he loves it. He loves it. That's the whole life.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they cut it. They said he's ready to get on a plane right now. Yeah. He knows that goddamn body off Broadway. Is there any problem with me bringing lunch here down there tomorrow? Oh, God.
Well, bring a chair, you're going to be there all day. You might as well be able to do that.
The only thing is, then we got to break up that thing. You know, you're going to get that compressor from the other person. The only thing I think they're screwing up on, they got all night. They might as well, just get a search warrant, and then you're in there and you don't have, because they're going to be around and stuff, and that way you got the whole goddamn place. You got to go worry about shit.
You've already established that there's a body there. She's probably a one-pager.
We got to get that way talking about the other bodies. Will be substantiated, like Raleigh said, we would substantiate the other missing person. Number one, and number two, we got the prior information. The body being buried there. Now you substantiated it with a fucking body. You know, and always. Yeah, Raleigh says we have no problem with the warrant.
You don't have to prove anything.
Well, then you also, you know what? He's going over there. You know, he's got a search for pad there. He can't. You know, once he's over there, he got to search for a list for it. You know, before you get there, get rid of shit. We don't all. You can't work Sunday.
Not until Sunday night, Doug. My game is.
I just wondered,
Yeah, looks good. That's not Thursday, yeah, go ahead first, because that's where I'm putting the body. Of course, she just said, no, I don't want you to move my backyard. Even though you can't use that court, will give you an indication. That she has a little guilty conscience.
hey Jim, is that recorder up?
Good, stop there.
Let me try to explain it.
Okay,
See if we can get going here. Okay. Now, as I told you, your property there,
1426
F Street. We got information that there was a body buried back there.
Really? Oh my God.
And so we asked Dorothea if we could look around.
I went to her.
And she let us look around. We dug a hole, and we did find a body.
Oh.
We have a body buried back there.
Where?
You know the walkway?
Walkway? I don't understand. No.
Yeah, it's on the side of the house.
On the side of the house?
By the shed.
Oh, see.
And so, what...
inside of the casita? The chest?
No, it's outside.
Oh, outside.
Well, here's the street. Okay. And then the house is here.
Yeah.
And then the shed is over here. The shed. And then the driveway is right here.
See, the driveway, see.
And then there's another little tiny shed here.
Oh, yes, see.
And then there's a...
There's an avocado tree.
Yeah, the tree right there. The back fence is right along here.
See.
And along here.
Yes.
But this area right in here.
Oh.
Oh, actually right in here.
See.
We dug right here. And that's where we found the body. This is the shed. And this is a little lean-to. I just call that a shed, too.
Yeah. She put some light here. She put some light, yeah.
Now, she poured some cement here, too. In here. We think there might be something buried under here.
Oh, no.
Because we know there was a hole dug here. And then it was filled over, and then they poured concrete over it.
Really?
So,
yeah, she asked me to put cement, you know. She asked me, oh yeah, do whatever you want. I'm renting to you and see.
How long have you rented the house to her?
Okay, let me think. 1985. She come back from
Prison.
for prison, and 2 years before.
Was she living there before she went to prison?
Yes. Yes. I was living downstairs, and she was living upstairs. She loved my children. I have four children, and she was so good to us. And when she went to prison, I ran to some guy, Mexican guy, and I told the guy, I ran to you till she come back, you know, because, like I told you, she was so good to us, you know, and I went to see in prison and Frontera.
Yeah.
Okay, and when she be back, I went again to her upstairs, and I was living downstairs. And then somebody told me that I have good kids, and the area is too bad for them because a lot of drogadicts or prostitutas. They told me to why I don't move to another house, or, to buy another house because the area is,
Mm-hmm.
And I did, and I moved in 1985 to Robin Rich Way, and I rent to her the house. Yeah.
You rented the whole house to her then, huh?
Just a minute. First, I let my sister-in-law rent the house downstairs because I moved.
Mm-hmm.
I was living downstairs, and I moved. I let my sister-in-law, she's in Mexico now. She was illegal. Okay, and then she told me that she doesn't want it that nobody come to rent downstairs because for the noise or children or something. She told me I will rent the whole house.
Dorothea?
And I rent to her the whole house.
Okay, when did your sister-in-law move?
Last 97 in February, she moved to Mexico. In February, she moved to Mexico. She was living downstairs, and Dorothea was living upstairs.
Mm-hmm.
And I know she rent to pension people, to old people.
Mm-hmm. Renting the downstairs.
Downstairs and upstairs, John. She has John upstairs. I know the name John.
Mm-hmm.
John.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Or two Johns, I don't know. I have my stomach like this, and my mouth. Oh God, can't believe it.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't worry too much.
Somebody, I live here a long time ago at Joe's Corner. I don't put attention, but they told me she's something crazy. I don't know.
People at Joe's Corner told you?
Yeah, years ago, 12 years ago, something.
Mm-hmm.
But I rented a house. Yeah, before I go to prison.
Okay, she got out of prison in 1985? She got out of prison in 1985?
And September 9, yeah. I know because I went and picked my her to Fresno. I don't remember.
Mm-hmm. You picked her up when she got out of prison?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And you moved out in 1985, bought the house over on Robin Ridge?
In June.
Okay. June of 85? In June of 85? 1985?
Let's see. I don't want to lie to you.
Oh, I'm...
It's just, I'm so...
You don't have to be exact. That's okay.
Let's see. 86, 87. Yeah, but 86 or 85. I'm so nervous now.
Yeah, no problem.
I have that.
Did your sister-in-law move in right after you moved out? Or was there...
No. My sister-in-law, she was leaving. I moved in June, July, August, September, October, November, December, January, February. She lives 8 months downstairs in my place.
Okay, so So 8 months from February would be what, around, she must have moved in around June or so of 86?
Who?
Your sister-in-law?
See, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Because you said she
Yes,
moved out
yes,
in February of 87. so-
Sí. Right, sí. Oh, okay.
Ricardo?
I moved to 86, no 85. To
Oh.
Robin Ridge, yeah.
Okay, don't worry about being wrong on a date. It's not going to get you in trouble or anything. We understand.
Sí.
And when she got out of prison, she rented it upstairs again?
When what?
Dorothea, when she got out of prison, she went back upstairs?
Right.
Rented that?
Yeah.
Did she ever have anybody living with her there?
Yes, somebody to help her. Yeah, a Mexican American man.
Mm-hmm.
He was doing remodeling the house inside, upstairs, putting paneling.
Mm-hmm.
What is the name of it? No, I don't remember.
Okay.
Yeah,
And that was after she got back out of prison?
Yeah, he was living with her and helping her. And he was living there. You know, I don't put too much attention because I thought when I go for the rent or I go for asking her for mail or to talk with her after work, she told me that she's going to rent to some lady, to some man. They moved, they left. You know, a lot of people go rent to her. She gave a room and board.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I don't put attention. I don't miss nobody because some people come and stay for some time and then go and then come and new people. You know.
Mm-hmm. Certainly.
Mm.
Yeah. Okay. How much do you rent the house to her to? How much do you rent it for?
Okay, downstairs I was renting for, $350.
To your sister-in-law?
To my sister-in-law, $200. And then she helped my sister-in-law with $50, $250 to my sister-in-law, And then when she took the whole house, $600 to her. I rent the whole house to her. I think 300 downstairs, 300 upstairs.
Pretty good price, huh?
But I don't know how much the people pay to her.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Did you rent the downstairs to someone else?
No, just my sister-in-law.
You moved out, and your sister-in-law moved in.
Yeah.
And then when your sister-in-law moved out, Dorothea started renting it to other people.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah. What we need or would like, Ricardo, is your permission for us to dig some more back there. We would like you to say it's okay for us to do that.
To me, it's okay. I'm afraid I never been in this kind of things.
Mm-hmm.
But you have my permit to dig in anywhere do you want.
Yeah.
See, you know, I rent to her. I don't have nothing to
hide.
Yeah, because.
How long have you owned that house?
Okay, from 1975, September 1975. September 1970.
You've got a pretty good memory for dates.
Sí. When you buy your first house, you never the date.
Uh-huh.
Sí.
Okay. What, when we get done digging here, we'll smooth all that out, the dirt back out and everything. We're going to have to break up this concrete here. It's only about that thick, real.
Sí.
And we're going to break that up and dig down in here, where that hole was.
It's okay, well, see,
But,
I'm with the law,
Yeah.
I don't refuse nothing.
Yeah, but, we're not going to break up this sidewalk along the house or anything else. None of that. And we're not going to... Did you put the shed up here?
No.
Okay.
She put everything there.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
And I had to put all things in the laundry room, the hallway laundry room. And I have 2 little rooms, and she told me, can I throw away the wall and make a room to rent? Okay. I let to,
Yeah, let her do some...
Yeah, that's it.
Make some changes.
See. She told me it's good for you for the value of the house.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the value.
Value, see.
Mm-hmm.
Like I told her, she was so good with my family, with everybody. I know you.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see nothing wrong with her.
Yeah.
But look at.
Yeah, I understand. Well, we're not saying she has anything at all to do with this. We're not accusing her.
Uh-huh.
No, we're not accusing her. In fact, she's home. If we were accusing her, she'd be arrested or something.
Uh-huh.
But we have, like I say, we have found a human body here. And so now that we have, we've got to look more.
Uh-huh.
Because we feel there may be more people buried.
Mm-hmm.
There may not be, but we have to look.
Yeah, you see.
And that's why we want, since it's your property, we'd like to get your permission too.
Yeah.
Even though she's renting it and she said, yes, we can rent it, we can dig there. We just wanted to get your permission too.
Oh, yes, thank you very much.
Yeah, she doesn't have to allow us to search, and neither do you. If you don't want us to search, or if she didn't want us to search, or you didn't want to search, we'd have to get a search warrant before we could search. But
yeah. These things. Oh my God. The publicity. Maybe I will be in the newspaper and everything. Oh no, I don't like it.
oh, your name won't be in the newspaper or anything. No, don't you worry about
Please,
that.
no. I'm not.
I guarantee
I
you.
rent to her the house and the sister.
Yeah. Yeah, you won't be connected in this anyway.
Oh.
No, that's okay, Ricardo. Yeah, I realize I've kind of thrown this on you all of a sudden, but it just happened today that we've got the information and went out and started digging a little bit.
Okay.
But the body has been there for a long time.
For a long time?
Oh, yeah.
No.
So it may have been there before you even bought the house. We don't know.
Oh.
So, yeah. It could have been that long ago.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Could have been there before you even bought the house.
See?
What? Yeah. We're going to have... There's an anthropologist.
Anthropologist?
Yeah, the people that dig for old remains and stuff.
Uh-huh.
They're going to come down probably tomorrow, and they will do the rest of the digging for us.
Okay.
And they'll be able to determine how old
Yeah.
the skeleton is,
Uh-huh.
how long it's been there and stuff. So,
Oh,
and
well.
I'll let you know.
Okay,
I'll
please,
I'll keep you advised so
sí,
you can ease your mind a little bit.
sí.
And,
Oh, thank you.
and I'll give you my card before you leave here.
Please, you know, I come from Mexico, work hard, I got married, and I have 21 years working at the Clarion Hotel, 16 and 8,
Mm-hmm.
before the mentioning,
Uh-huh.
the name mentioning, and
Yeah.
yeah, see. I was living in that block. I was renting an apartment in 1412 F Street, and then the guy who was living 1426,
Mm-hmm.
he offered me the house, and I bought it.
That was a good deal.
Yeah, it was so cheap, the house, 10,000.
Good deal for you, huh?
10,000, yeah.
Yeah, well, you've got a lot of money there now. Yeah, it's probably worth 5 times that much.
5 times.
Yeah. At least.
Yeah.
At least.
At least, yeah.
Okay, can you hold on for just a moment?
Yes,
Let me
yes.
make sure we've got everything covered. Then
Okay.
Ricardo.
Okay, thank you.
We really appreciate you coming down here.
We need to put up tonight early. Just we don't take anything.
Why don't you have a seat in here? I'll come in and we'll go over a few of those things and jot down.
Milk help all right, John?
That helped a lot, 100%. That and not smoking any cigarettes for a while helps.
Okay.
No empty?
Your first name is
John.
Sharp?
Mm-hmm.
S-H-R-P?
Yep.
How old are you?
64.
Okay. Now, let's go back up again and tell me when this whole thing started happening, when you said, let's go back to where you thought something was wrong, like you mentioned in there. Kind of, let's rehash over that.
Well, I thought something was wrong clear back last July.
Last July
yeah.
of 87?
Yes, well, this year.
Last July of 88.
Yeah.
Okay, what made you think that?
I can't remember why I really got the feeling.
Did you feel uneasy, you mean?
Yeah, because I told the this social worker from Camellia House, Camellia Center, that I had to get away from there because something was wrong in that house. That's when she had, I know that's when she had bawled me out because I complained about this Indian wanting to.
Mm-hmm. That was Ben.
No,
that was.
Well, I know his name may have been Ben.
He was an Indian then.
Yeah, Indian or Eskimo. He's from Alaska.
Okay. She bawled you out
because I complained.
because you were complaining about him.
Yeah,
okay.
about him wanting to
right.
beat up on me.
So you felt things weren't.
Things weren't right, and then
you felt very uneasy about
yeah.
everything.
And that's when I told the social worker I have to get out because things weren't right. And then I guess again I'm not definite on times. I just can't be because nothing has been that important to me to try to really remember. But it seemed to me like about 4 months.
4 months ago.
That Ben. Let's see, this is November, October, September, August. I'm trying to relate to when I got my SSI.
Think in terms of July 4th.
Well, that don't help because I don't.
Oh, okay.
At that point, I was only looking forward to getting my SSI.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to think if Ben was still there when I got my SSI. I don't think he was. So I'm sure it's been 4 months.
Okay. Now, tell me about when you last saw Ben. What was going on that led up to him disappearing?
Okay. Well, last I saw him was.
And now Ben is a male white.
Probably in his 60s.
You don't know what his last name was?
I have no idea.
About 5'10", you say?
About 5'10".
About how much in weight?
160.
Okay. What color hair?
Hair, I don't know. I didn't pay attention to his eyes or anything.
Okay. Was he disabled in any way, or?
Supposedly, I don't really know.
Okay.
He was a drinker. Now, his brother was there to see him a couple times.
But you don't. Okay.
I don't know what his brother.
Does Fink sound like the right?
Well, it rings a bell of some kind, but I don't know what it was then. Like I say, I don't know anybody except for the first names.
Okay.
I've been there 11 months, and Homer, him and I were good friends, and I don't even know Homer's last name.
So you've been there a total of 11 months.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, so you see Ben about 4 months ago, and what was the incident you see about?
Well, he got pretty drunk and was in his room next to mine. And I had mentioned to Dorothea then, I said, now you've got a true alcoholic on your hands. I said, he's going to be stealing your liquor upstairs, because, she's got all kinds of it. And she said, he's already stealing it. He said he stole about 3 bottles already. But anyway, he was in his room downstairs, and he just kept getting drunker and drunker. I guess he'd go out. I never paid that much attention to when he'd go out or anything, but I'd hear him, go out. And finally, after he's been there drunk about 4 days, she came down and said she's going to take him upstairs and get him to feeling better. And that's the last I ever saw Ben.
Okay, and that was about 4 months ago.
Yeah.
She came down. You see him? Did you see her take him out of the?
Okay, she just said, I'm going to get Ben,
She said,
take him upstairs, make him better.
Yeah, I never saw her take him up or anything like that. But she said she was.
Did you remember the next day of not seeing him?
Oh yeah, I remember not seeing him the next day.
Did you ask about him?
No, oh no.
Okay.
She said she was going to take him upstairs. And like I say, you don't ask her questions unless you want to get in trouble.
Okay. So you didn't see him the next day. So then how many days later did you go up in the house and you started smelling this awful smell?
I'd say 4 days at the most.
4 days later?
Yeah.
You smelled what you thought
Death.
was death.
Yeah.
Now, your prior experience led you to believe this.
Yeah,
And what's your prior
Well,
experience?
I worked for the Kansas City Mortuary Service, and we handled any body that wasn't claimed, and a lot of bodies that were claimed would come to us, were brought to us for embalming. But anything the city picked up, for instance, they got a guy that had killed himself about a year before that and laid out in the field with a shotgun between his legs.
Mm-hmm.
And we got him, but we got just the bones, and that's all. But we got an Indian one day that had lain under a bridge, dead so long that the rats had eaten his fingers and his toes.
So you're familiar, and you've gotten people with that smell. You're familiar with that smell. And when you went up there about 4 days later, and it was coming from that room off of the kitchen.
Yeah, you couldn't smell it any other place.
Right there was strongest.
Right there, strongest. You didn't smell it close to the bathroom. You didn't smell it in the hall. I mean, in the stairway. I didn't smell it in my room downstairs.
But it was strong.
Right there in the kitchen. It was strong.
When you asked her about it, what'd she say it was?
I didn't ask her.
Oh, you just remembered it.
Yeah, but she mentioned the smell herself.
What'd she say about it?
I said she's trying to get the smell out of the room that was coming from the sewers down below. She said she shampooed the carpet numerous times.
Did she say how many times?
She said 8 or 10 times. But I heard her using the shampoo machine quite often up there.
Okay, and then what? Then keep going. What happens then after? But you don't see Ben anymore.
Oh, I never saw him.
Did you ever ask what happened to it?
Well, I thought I saw him walking by one time.
How long ago was that after that?
Probably a month and a half.
Okay, and you hadn't seen him?
Oh, I hadn't seen him at all. Oh, no.
So then you thought you walked by and you mentioned it to...
Mentioned it to Dorothea, and she said, oh, no, it couldn't have been him because he's way up north.
Okay, and then nothing...
Nothing.
Then when did Bert move in? Was Bert already staying there?
Yeah, Bert was there. He's been there quite a while.
Okay, so then Ben ends up, and then how long after that does you see Mr. Montoya disappear?
Well, it's probably 2 months.
2 months ago.
Yeah, because it's been about 2 months ago. Yeah.
And when did you last see him?
I'm trying to think if I saw him on Friday night. I believe I saw him on Friday night, and then Saturday he was gone. Because she mentioned it the first thing Saturday morning that Bert had left for Mexico. And I thought it strange that she would, he would leave that early in the morning for Mexico. Because I had my car, and I've always offered, to do trips for her to save her cab fare.
Mm-hmm.
And once in a while she'll have me go to a store or something. And I thought if she's going to send him to Mexico, she would probably ask me to take him down to the depot. But she never said anything to me. She just said that she said in Mexico.
And he's been gone ever since?
Yeah.
Okay, and then was there any... Now, you mentioned some digging in the backyard. You say there was some concrete in there? The concrete, how long ago was the concrete poured?
Oh, it's been poured 2 months. Maybe.
That's on both sides of the slab? And the shed on the side?
Yeah, the one closest to the street was probably poured 2 weeks before the one.
And you'd say how many, about 2 months?
2 months to 2.5 months. I hate to be pinned down, you can read it all the time.
But it wasn't like the March or anything this year?
No. Oh, no.
Okay.
That kid that poured it probably would be able to tell you exactly.
Which kid? Was that one that was there?
The one that's staying out there now.
He's the one who poured it down?
Yeah. Him and another parolee.
Okay. Let's see. And there was a trench in the one where the trees are?
Yes.
Well, that's the one closest to the garden?
Yeah.
There was a trench, L-shaped?
Yeah. It went all the way up front of that utility shed,
Mm-hmm.
and then over alongside the fence.
Okay.
I'd say 4 to 5 feet alongside the fence, and complete front of it.
But you don't know who dug it?
Those same guys.
Same guys.
Yeah, the ones that worked on the slab. It was this young kid and another real heavy set guy that was working with him. Like I say, both of them was from that halfway house.
Okay.
And
that's the kid that was in that red T-shirt today?
I think he's the one that dug the one out underneath that back shed too. Seemed me like he dug that hole. I'm not positive. But yes, he did. I know he did. He dug that hole.
Okay. So he's been doing a lot of work for her on and off last.
He has. He's
so many months.
Yeah. Probably the last 4 months or more.
He'd just come and dig the holes, and that would be it, or would he bury him, or he'd just dig the holes?
Well, he'd dig the holes. I never did see anybody fill them in. I don't know who filled them in.
So then they were filled in and covered up?
Yeah. I have no idea who filled them in.
Okay. Now Bert is gone. That's Mr. Montoya. So the time goes on, and you don't see him, and then now all of a sudden, what comes to light? What happens now? What brings Bert up again?
Oh, that.
The outreach volunteer, social worker?
Yeah, social worker.
Okay, when did she contact you?
She didn't contact me until after the police had been out there.
The police come and talk to you?
Yeah. What's his? No, wait a minute. He was a sergeant in uniform. I'm not sure what his name is, but I explained to him that I couldn't talk to him there in the house.
Okay.
Because I didn't want anybody to hear me.
Okay.
So I met him at the drugstore, and we drove down the
Now, was that before or after she told you to lie?
Oh, that was after.
When did she tell you you were going to have to lie?
Saturday.
Okay, what did she tell you exactly?
She just said, John, I'm going to ask you to lie for me today. She said, I think I'm going to jail. And she said, the police are coming out. And she said, I want you to tell them that I was gone Thursday and Friday. And that you saw Bert on Saturday. And she said,
and you knew you hadn't seen him for over 2 months?
I knew I hadn't seen him. And she said, I'll make it well worth your while.
And that was this past week?
Yeah.
This past week, so it'd be like, yeah.
I lost my train of thought. I was going to tell
And
you.
when was that? Last what? Friday or Saturday? She told you that?
Saturday.
Last Saturday.
Wasn't it Saturday when the police first came out there?
Okay.
It seemed to me like it was Saturday. I believe it was. Oh, that's what I was going to say. Anyway, the police, that sergeant came out, and we went down and parked by Lucky's store, and he asked me my name, and I told him John Sharp. He said, oh, you're the one that Judy, the social worker, said I should try to talk to. Then's when I knew, then he told me that she had called in.
Okay, then you got a hold of her?
And I got a hold of her.
You told her kind of what you're telling us, that, hey, Ben disappeared?
Yeah. What I wanted to do is I was asking her to find me a place to stay right quick.
Okay, now you say that she said that the only reason we told her that, you said, hey, we told her that she asked you to do. And she says, no, he was just mad at me because I kicked him out. And now she kicked you out because you were giving her a check to pay. Is that the only reason she was kicking you out?
Oh, yeah.
You wrote her a check to pay for your rent. She says, no, I want cash.
Yeah, let's see. Just bear with me.
Yeah, no problem. And she said, I'm not taking a check, and get the heck, and move your stuff by the 13th.
She said, I'm not taking your check. She said, I don't want your damn check, and be out of here by the 13th. There's the check.
For $500.
Yep.
Now, what did that encompass, $500?
$350 for the rent and $150 that I owed her. That may be the phone number I've been hunting for.
Okay, and that was on the 3rd you were trying to give her that. Was it on the 3rd, 11/3?
Yeah.
Okay, and she says, no way. No, I'm not taking your check.
Now
Get out of here by the 13th.
Yeah, now that was the day that Homer left, too,
Okay.
Because I know he left that night or early the next morning, but I didn't personally see him leave, but I'm sure that he did, because, after she racked him the way she did, I wouldn't have stayed there. But she said, I don't want your goddamn check. It cost me money every time I had to get it cashed. And every time I'd give her a check, I'd ask her about, if it was costing any money. I said, I'll pay you for it or pay you cash. She said, no, I just take them over to the bar they take care of them for me. So it didn't cost her anything. And it shouldn't cost her anything anyway, because all she had to do is put it in the account. But her checking account, it don't cost you anything.
Yeah. So anyway, she asked you to move out now, but that's the only reason.
Yeah.
You weren't disgruntled about that. Now,
No,
was it
'cause I
after
wanted
that?
to.
Was it after that, or before that she told you to lie? It was
Oh,
after that. And then after she boots you out,
Then she comes to me.
she comes down last Saturday on the 5th. That would be the 5th of November, and says, "John, I'm going to ask you to lie for me. Tell the police I'm going to jail. I think I'm going to be arrested, right? Tell the police that I've been gone 2 days, and you just saw Bert Saturday, today." And she said she would make it well worth your while.
Yeah.
And what'd you tell her? You said, "Oh, yeah,
I
okay."
said, okay.
Okay, and then you haven't talked to her since.
One time,
What happened?
see, the police sergeant, she brought him down to my room.
Uh-huh.
And she was standing there when he asked me if I had seen Bert. And I said, there was a truck here moving stuff, and I think it was Bert. And he went on upstairs with her. Then he came back downstairs about a half hour later. Let me dig in my pockets again. When he came back downstairs, I handed him this. She wasn't with me.
You mind if can I keep this? If I take the inside out?
Yeah, I need
That's a medical,
Yeah, I need
well, this will be returned to you.
I just got my
Okay.
dental appointment.
This is what you showed the officer right here.
That's
She
something
wants
I
me
hate.
to lie to you. And then when he showed you that, when you showed the officer that, what did...
Okay, he turned my television up because you can hear everything in my room from there. And he turned the television up, and I told him that I'd like to talk to him, but not there, someplace else. And he said, "I'll meet you down at the drugstore." It was 11:45. He said, "I'll meet you down at the drugstore on the corner at 12 o'clock.
Do you remember the sergeant's name?
Now, wait a minute. Let's come up with something here. Maybe it's got his name on it, maybe it doesn't. He gave me this.
Now, was he a sergeant or just a regular officer? Do you remember his name? Was it Ewing? Was he a young man?
I don't know. Yeah, he was young.
Okay.
But he may not have been a sergeant. I presumed he was.
He was in a uniform, though.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think somebody said he was a sergeant. Now, I'm not sure. Maybe she asked me what the sergeant did or something, but I didn't pay attention to whether he had stripes on his sleeve or not. But I explained to him that I was moving. Then,
Okay.
He gave me this and the case number. He said, "Call it in when you move, and give me your address in case they want to talk to you."
Okay. And then that's the last you talked to Dorothea. Did she
Well,
ever?
she-
Did
yeah,
she
well,
confront you anymore
Yeah,
after
well,
that?
then she came down, after the second time, that he talked to me. She come down, she said, what did the, I don't know if she said policeman or officer or whatever, but she said, "What did he ask you?" I said, "He asked me the same question he asked me before when you was down here." That was all there was to it.
What'd she say?
He turned around and walked away.
Now, have you talked to her since this whole thing has hit?
So not since then. I said a word to her. But that isn't uncommon. I mean, I'd go by a week and never say anything to her anyway.
Okay, we're going to take the check and this, and we'll hang on to it. We're going to book it as some evidence.
I probably got the other half of the check somewhere around.
Well, if you can find it, let me know. But that's the date that you gave it to her, but then she came back on the 5th and asked you to lie for her. And this is what you wrote the officer.
Yeah. And I wrote another one. I guess I wrote him a note too, telling him that I didn't want to talk in there, Mr.
That's
Brown.
no problem. Okay. All righty. Let's see what they've got going now. Just see it out here. Okay. Keep right there and relax. Here. I think that's fine.